Throughout this video, I am going to talk about my remediation analysis. So to begin my analysis, I want to highlight the key strengths that I observed from Amanda throughout our remediation lessons. One of the most noticeable strengths was the students' motivation and engagement during the reading instruction lessons. She was consistently eager to participate, especially during activities that involved those hands-on components, word building, and of course the game. That level of participation really helped drive her progress forward throughout this time spent together. Another major strength was her growing accuracy in identifying and reading blends and digraphs. With repeated exposure, she started recognizing these patterns more quickly and with greater confidence overall. Along with that, her fluency improved each time she would reread familiar texts or practice with guidance. I consistently saw smooth phrasing, fewer breaks between words, and more willingness to go back and try again instead of just omitting those words or endings of words. Even with these strengths, there are still, of course, those target areas that remain important. She continues to need more automaticity with decoding blends and digraphs. She can read them, but she sometimes needs to slow down and stretch out sounds instead of recognizing them instantly. A second need is continued fluency development. She benefits from direct fluency routines and modeling and strengthening phrasing, expression, and rhythm while reading. A third area for continued growth would be that vocabulary. Expanding that word knowledge will help reduce hesitation when encountering that new language and will lead to more confidence in independent reading and comprehension. Across the remediation lessons, I observed steady progress. Early in instruction, she relied heavily on sounding out each part of a word slowly, and her reading had more frequent pauses throughout it. As instruction continued to go on, she would blend more smoothly, recognizing patterns faster, and would read with an overall better flow. Her phrasing and timing especially improved during repeated readings, which helped her focus more on meaning and less on the effortful decoding. I also saw increased willingness to take risks with new words. She became more comfortable trying instead of freezing or waiting for that support to come. This tells me that her confidence is growing alongside her skill development, which was really exciting to see throughout the entire process. Another important piece of my analysis is how she responded to these activities. She was enthusiastic and genuinely excited to participate. Word building tasks kept her focused, and she took pride in correctly blending those new words. She loved to see each day how many new words she could remember or blends or digraphs that she could get to correct. The highlight hunts in connected decodable text really engaged her, and she would point out blends or digraphs as she found them. She even continued to do this outside of our remediation lessons. The bingo review game showed the clearest boosts in her confidence. She wanted to read each word clearly just so that she can earn her spot, and she celebrated when she succeeded. Her emotional engagement played a large role in her willingness to persist throughout challenges. Throughout the remediation, I made sure that I provided feedback that encouraged self-monitoring and independence. When she encountered a difficult word, I encouraged her to slow down, check the beginning sound, or to look for familiar letter patterns. I also prompted her to reread sentences that didn't sound quite right the first time. Over time, she began doing these things on her own, signaling real progress and self-correction. During word building, I reminded her to tap each of those sounds, and she used this strategy more independently as the lessons continued. She also uses this throughout class. I noticed that she's using these different strategies in her regular whole group instruction. This shows that not only did she improve academically, she developed tools that she can now apply across future reading experiences. To summarize, remediation instruction supported growth in decoding, fluency, vocabulary, and overall reading confidence. She still needs practice to build full automaticity and blends and digraphs, but she is moving in the right direction with continued structure, practice, small group support, and repeated exposure to pattern text. She is well positioned to continue progressing as a reader.